Welcome to my channel, dear friends. Today I want to talk about something very close to my heart: how to share minimalism lessons with our grandchildren. Many of us have spent a lifetime collecting, working, and accumulating, only to realize that true happiness often comes from simplicity. Minimalism for seniors is not about depriving ourselves, but about discovering freedom in less. And when we pass that wisdom to our grandchildren, we give them tools that can last a lifetime. This is more than just cleaning a house or throwing things away. It's about shaping values and building a legacy. So let's sit down together and explore how we can pass on this beautiful way of living to the younger generation. When I first started embracing minimalism, it wasn't easy. I had memories tied to objects and habits built over decades. But slowly, I realized that holding on to too much clutter weighed me down, both physically and emotionally. Our grandchildren are growing up in a world that moves faster than ever, filled with advertisements, constant noise, and pressure to buy more. By teaching them the joy of simplicity, we can help them see that happiness is not for sale. This is a lesson I wish I had learned earlier, and now I am determined to pass it on. It is a gift more valuable than any inheritance. Children are naturally curious, and they often learn more from what we do than what we say. If they see us choosing experiences over things, they begin to understand what really matters. For example, instead of buying them another toy, we can invite them to cook a simple meal with us. That shared experience teaches them about love, connection, and presence in a way no store-bought gift can. Minimalism for seniors becomes visible to grandchildren when we live it openly. It becomes part of the stories we tell, the traditions we create, and the time we spend together. In this way, our lives become living lessons. I remember a time when one of my grandsons asked me why I had so few shoes compared to his parents. I explained that I only keep the pairs that truly serve me well, and that I find comfort in not having to choose between dozens of options. He looked at me and smiled, and I could see him thinking deeply. That small moment planted a seed in his young mind. These are the simple ways we can introduce minimalism to children, by answering their questions honestly and gently. It is not about lecturing, but about guiding with kindness. Our examples speak louder than words. Another way to share minimalism lessons with grandchildren is through storytelling. We can tell them about the times when life was simpler, when we played outside with sticks and stones, and when joy came from imagination rather than possessions. Children love stories, and they remember them long after the words are spoken. By weaving in lessons of gratitude, contentment, and creativity, we show them that life does not need to be complicated. Storytelling helps them see minimalism not as a restriction, but as an adventure. These moments of connection build bridges that last a lifetime. It's also important to teach them about financial wisdom. Minimalism naturally encourages us to spend less and save more. Our grandchildren are entering a world filled with debt traps, consumerism, and financial stress. By showing them that money is a tool, not a measure of worth, we prepare them for healthier futures. We can share stories of mistakes we've made, times when buying too much didn't bring happiness, and how choosing wisely led to peace of mind. These are lessons schools rarely teach, but grandparents can. Passing down financial wisdom is one of the greatest gifts of minimalism for seniors. Spending time outdoors with grandchildren is another wonderful way to live out these lessons. Nature itself is minimalist. Beautiful, simple, and healing. A walk in the park, a picnic under the trees, or watching the sunset together can show them that joy does not come from screens or shopping malls. They learn to appreciate what's free and eternal. These experiences stay in their hearts and shape their understanding of what matters. Minimalism connects us not only to people, but also to the natural world. This connection is something grandchildren can carry into adulthood. Minimalism also teaches patience and mindfulness, and these are qualities we can model. In a world where everything is instant, children rarely see adults slowing down. By sitting quietly, reading a book, or enjoying a cup of tea, we show them the value of presence. Our calmness becomes their calmness. These small lessons are powerful, because grandchildren learn that peace comes not from constant activity, but from balance. Minimalism for Seniors provides the perfect example of how to live in harmony with time. This wisdom is timeless. I've also learned that sharing minimalism with grandchildren means letting them participate. Instead of telling them to clean their rooms, we can invite them to help us organize a closet. We can make it fun, turning decluttering into a game of what brings us joy. By involving them in our process, they learn by doing. It becomes less about rules and more about discovery. They start to see that minimalism is not about losing things, but about gaining freedom. And when they feel included, they carry those lessons with them naturally. Holidays and birthdays are another chance to practice minimalism with grandchildren. Instead of overwhelming them with gifts, we can focus on experiences. A day trip, a shared project, or a handmade item often means more than expensive toys. By simplifying celebrations, we teach them that love is not measured in money, but in time and thoughtfulness. These traditions shape their understanding of what family really means. And when they grow older, they will remember the feelings, not the objects. That is the true power of minimalist celebrations. Technology is another area where minimalism can be taught to grandchildren. Today's young people are surrounded by screens, notifications, and endless distractions. We can gently show them that stepping away from devices can bring peace and clarity. By setting aside time to talk face-to-face, read together, or simply share silence, we demonstrate the value of real connection. These moments remind them that relationships are more important than social media likes. Our choice to use technology mindfully becomes a lesson they can carry into their own lives. This is one of the greatest gifts we can pass on. Food also provides a simple way to share minimalism. Preparing meals together teaches children that nourishment doesn't have to be complicated. Cooking with just a few ingredients, focusing on health and taste, helps them see that simplicity often brings better results. We can show them family recipes that have been passed down, teaching them the joy of tradition and the strength of simple choices. Instead of fast food or processed snacks, they learn the value of fresh, wholesome meals. These moments in the kitchen create memories while reinforcing minimalist values. The heart of minimalism is often found at the dinner table. One important lesson is teaching gratitude. Minimalism and gratitude go hand in hand because when we appreciate what we already have, we stop chasing what we don't need. We can encourage our grandchildren to say thank you for simple things: a sunny day, a good laugh, or time spent together. Gratitude helps them slow down and recognize life's blessings. When they see us living gratefully, they learn to do the same. This practice doesn't just reduce stress, it also increases joy. Teaching gratitude is perhaps the most lasting minimalism lesson we can give. We can also share the idea of quality over quantity. Children often believe that more is better, but minimalism shows them that having fewer, well-loved things can bring more satisfaction. Whether it's clothing, toys, or friendships, quality always outlasts quantity. We can point out how a sturdy pair of shoes or a loyal friend matters far more than dozens of fleeting replacements. This lesson helps grandchildren build discernment, teaching them to choose carefully in all areas of life. It's a wisdom that will serve them long into adulthood. A powerful way to model minimalism is through generosity. When we let go of items we no longer need, we can involve our grandchildren in donating to others. This shows them that sharing is part of living simply. They learn that giving can bring more happiness than receiving. By involving them in charitable acts, we teach them empathy and compassion. Minimalism for seniors, then, becomes not just about reducing clutter, but about spreading kindness. These experiences leave lasting impressions on their hearts. Finally, sharing minimalism with grandchildren is about leaving a legacy. When we pass down values instead of clutter, we give them something eternal. They may forget the toys or the things we once bought them, but they will always remember the lessons of simplicity, gratitude, and love. Minimalism for seniors becomes a bridge between generations, carrying wisdom forward, and when they grow older, they may pass these lessons to their own children and grandchildren. In that way, our influence never ends. They begin to see that minimalism is not just about the external. This kind of wisdom is rare in their world, but priceless. Thanks for watching. I hope this reflection on how to share minimalism lessons with grandchildren inspires you to embrace simplicity, not just for yourself, but as a gift to your family. Passing down this wisdom creates stronger bonds, healthier lives, and a more peaceful future. If you found this video meaningful, please subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with others who may benefit. Let's continue building a community where seniors and grandchildren learn from each other. After all, the greatest inheritance we can leave is not money or possessions, but wisdom and love.